Hi guys, it's Grace with Grace Gets Gastric. Today is Tuesday, February 26, 2019, and I am here today for my 1 year, 8 week, or 60 week post-op VSG update. I'm in my car because today's going to be a long day. I'm not going to be home until a little bit later, and so I want to make sure that this video is already filmed so that I have time to edit and all that stuff when I get home. But anyways, to start with stats again, my name is Grace. I am 5'8", 28 years old, and on January 2nd, 2018, I had the Vertical Sleeve Gastrectomy, or VSG, weight loss surgery. My highest weight ever recorded was 354 pounds in May of 2017, and I was required by my insurance to do a 6-month medically supervised weight loss diet, and over the course of that 6 months, I lost 35 pounds, so my starting weight day of surgery was 319 pounds. Last week I came into with a weight of 196.2, and this morning I weighed in at 197.7. So that is a weekly gain of 1.5 pounds, a loss since surgery of 121.3 pounds, and a loss since my highest weight of 156.3 pounds. I mentioned to you guys last week that it makes me nervous when I hit my the lowest weight that I see on weigh-in day, because chances are these days I won't be there in a week, and that was the case. Fluctuated a lot this past week. I have been on my period, or I was on my period for most of the past week. But yesterday morning I actually weighed in at 196.2. So that 1.5 pounds was in one day. And I know it's not fat gain, but it was deserved. And yeah, so I'm gonna try to work through some of my feels here on camera, so apologies if this is a bit rough. But yesterday we had a like pizza party slash bake, like there's like baked goods and stuff, basically celebrating a couple of people at work who were nominated for this big award. And I was pretty snacky in the morning. On my own things. I think in anticipation I was like trying to eat food that was like maybe not, I wasn't hungry, I didn't need to eat it, but I was like, okay, well, this is what I need to do to like kind of mentally get over not binging later. Spoiler, it didn't work. And then I had my lunch a little bit early because I wanted to eat my meal prep, and so I was like, I'm going to eat my meal prep and then I'll be too full to eat the pizza, which did work. But then all of the baked goods were there for the rest of the afternoon. They're still there at my work the next day. And it was rough. Like, I had a lot of cookies, like a lot. An excessive amount, and that's what kills me. Like, I don't know, I had a little bit of a mini breakdown in my car yesterday because, like, I ate to the point, I mean, of feeling ill, and not like throwing up ill. I mean, I ate to the point of being over full, but never to the point of like I need to throw up. But I felt like shit for a few hours, to the point where I almost had to go home because I felt so awful because of all the sugar I ate. And you know, if you've watched these videos, I've talked about before how eating a lot of sugar makes me feel really just terrible. And the problem with that is that it's not consistent. So I don't know what this magic threshold is for feeling terrible. And so I try to get away with things because I want it. And there's not like if you have one cookie, or if you have 2 cookies, or if you have 3, sometimes I eat stuff that has a lot of sugar and I'm fine. And sometimes I have not that much, and it's just like crash. And it's pretty awful. And I can't. The problem is, like, I think it just, like, I've talked about this before, like, this is going to be a lifelong struggle. Like, I've still got issues with food, like, all of this stuff. I knew going into surgery that this was going to be a thing. But until you get here, it's hard to really prepare for it and really know it. I think it just, like, really hit me yesterday that, like, this is gonna be like my whole life. Like, I just felt completely out of control. You know, like, I felt sick for 2 hours. Towards the end of the day, because I hadn't, you know, for those 2 hours I stopped eating. I was feeling better again. And then, like, I literally just, like, went right into the kitchen. Even though I, like, when I was, you know, when you feel sick, you're like, I'm never gonna eat again. I'm like, never again. But, like, the moment I felt okay again, my brain was just like, there's cookies in there. And just, I can't eat just one. I'll find myself, instead of just being like, okay, I'll have one and it's good, like grabbing like a handful, like I need to hoard them because I know other people will eat them and then they won't be there anymore. And I don't know, it's just hard. And I know, you know, I try to limit my sugar, but I truly do not believe that for me, eliminating it, or, you know, like doing something where like a keto thing where you don't eat carbs at all, I do not think that mentally that will work for me, you know, because I don't think that my brain, you know, people are like, oh, well, just, you know, don't eat them. I'm like, if I could just not eat them, then this would not be a problem. The problem is that I can't just not eat them, you know, like I tell myself that they're not on my plan, I don't need them, I'm not hungry, and like that does not work. And it, you know, it's just one of those things, like, I know that the amount I'm eating is less than it would be before surgery. I know that this is not like every single day that there are parties like this, and I'm okay with indulging on occasion. It's just that it's the feeling out of control thing that I don't like, and that makes me scared. And I don't know, it's just, sometimes it's just really like, it's a lot to know that this is gonna happen forever, you know? Like, it's just a shitty feeling, you know? Like, I am someone who, I pride myself on being a fairly thoughtful and intelligent person, someone who's very capable, and, you know, my whole life, my big thing was that I was fat, and, like, I clearly had issues with food, you know? And now I'm less fat, but it's just, it's like, it's a weakness, and it makes you feel weak. And I think that's for me, like, I feel, and it's not like I'm like shaming myself, but it, you know, like there is an out of control feeling, a feeling that like I cannot control myself, my body, my actions, that I don't like. And you know, it's this weird feeling, and like I should be able to control myself, and that's kind of the thing, right? Like that's where the, I guess, shame and anger comes in, and frustration is like, how can I not control myself? Like, why can I not be like, this doesn't make you feel good, you're not hungry, you don't need it, it's gonna, you know, not only is it not adding anything, it's actually actively, it's taking away from your goals, it makes you mentally feel bad, it makes you physically feel bad, and still, on my way to work, yesterday I was like, okay, I'm not having any of these tomorrow. And literally on my way to work this morning, all I could think about was, there's going to be those cookies in the kitchen. Like, that was all I could think about. Like, oh, I want those cookies. I want those cookies. Even though you know, I'm like, starting the day off with a sugar bomb is not a good idea. It's just, I don't know. I don't even know the point of this video. But it's this weird place where I don't feel quite as blah as I have in previous times. Like, even though this is like really frustrating and kind of upsetting, like, it's just like a small thing. It's hard to describe. It's not totally tanking my whole mood, even though it might seem like it right now because I'm complaining about it. So, I mean, I actually kind of mostly feel okay. It's just like, I think it's just this one thing, like, reminding me, like, You still have this weakness. You still have this big issue. And I don't know, there's kind of like a hopelessness. Like, I feel like maybe I'll control it enough. I hope that I can control it enough that I won't spiral and like gain a bunch of weight. That's the goal. But it's always there, you know, it's always waiting. And I don't know, it's a little bit blah. But in other news, so we're gonna move past that topic. Yeah, and I've got like 10 minutes. I'm working out a bunch still, so that's good. I tried cycling for the first time. I mentioned before that my gym has cycling classes. They just opened a cycling studio this month. So I tried cycling for the first time. I liked it okay. The problem was that the seat was so uncomfortable. My ass was like not happy. And so I spent a lot of time trying to adjust so that my, like, it was the most comfortable or the least comfortable, if that makes sense. So again, it's one of those ones, I didn't dislike it, but I feel like for the workout I got, and the discomfort of that seat, there are better things personally for me. And then I also tried Orange Theory. I think I mentioned that last week that I was going to be doing Orange Theory. I did that with my friend on Saturday. And I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I would, to be honest. A couple people that I've talked to, everyone kind of like made a huge deal of the stats on the screen and like how that was terrible. And I liked it. I don't get why everyone's so pissy about it. Like, I think people were like, it's like a competition thing. It didn't feel like a competition thing. I'm sure some people are using it that way, but like, who cares? I really liked being able to see what my heart rate was doing. Because I have my Fitbit, but like sometimes you have to, it takes a while to get it to show. So it was nice to just be able to see where my heart rate was at, to be like, okay, I'm breathing really hard right now. I feel like I'm dying. And then to see, yep, I'm in the red. So, I liked it. I thought it was cool. It definitely was very, pretty cardiovascularly challenging, particularly like the running part. The strength training bit was a little bit light in my opinion, though that could have just been the particular day because they rotate. But yeah, I didn't, that part I was like, but I'm more used to doing that. But definitely like a good cardiovascular workout. I definitely would do it again. The only thing is it's pretty expensive, and I wouldn't like doing that as my only workout. It's a little too cardiovascular heavy. I mean, and that's something that I am trying to work on because of like hiking in Machu Picchu, but I prefer strength training. So it's something like I wouldn't mind doing once a week or a couple times a month, but not something that I would want to be my only workout. But I did enjoy it. And then the other thing I mentioned, I've been doing physical therapy for my hip, and I finished doing that for now, and I do think it's better. This morning I ran for like 10 minutes straight. I do like usually intervals, and that's like the longest I've run straight since my 5K, because I've been so nervous about it, and it's totally fine today. So fingers crossed that that is all healed up, because I'm planning to do another 5K in either April or May. I'm deciding between two right now. But I want to do another 5K, and then I'd like to do a 10K by the end of the year as well. We'll see. I still don't love running, but I do want to have a well-roundedness. Okay, so I think that's kind of everything. I know I had some other stuff to talk about, but I feel like I just sort of went off on a tangent with the sugar problems and the eating and the mental mindfuck stuff of life. So I think we'll call it good for now. I hope you guys are doing great. I am doing pretty well. It's nice and sunny here, even though it's super cold. But the sun is like a nice energy boost for sure. And I am already looking forward to spring. So yeah, hope you guys are having a great Tuesday, and I will talk to you soon.